We're approaching Earth, Colonel.
Oh, very good, Private. Very good.
Starting transmitter. Go ahead, sir.
Greetings, humans. I am Colonel O'Truth. My commanding officer, General Knowledge, has sent me here today to enlist your help in the fight against our common enemy, ignorance. To that end, and with the help of my aide, Private Tutor, we shall marshal an effort of Herculean proportions and conquer ignorance once and for all.
Colonel, message coming in from the General.
Put it on the screen, Private.
Colonel, have you contacted the humans yet?
Well, yes, General. They seem quite intelligent and eager to learn.
Very good. Remember the rules, Colonel. Define your terms. Give names to everything. Use pictures where you can. Keep it organized. Find out how and why things happen the way they do. Test your hypothesis. Talk it over with your teammates. And remember, words are the tools of thought.
Yes, thank you, General. Over and out. Bye-bye for now, carry on and all that. He does go on so. Well, what was it he said again? Remember the rules. I guess I should have been taking notes.
Sir, I believe the first rule was, define your terms. Could that be it, sir?
Oh, yes. Define your terms. Absolutely, yes. Define your terms, quite. What is it we're exactly defining terms concerning?
Vacuum forming, sir.
What?
Vacuum forming, sir.
Do we have a list of terms, Private?
Yes, sir. Right here, sir.
Well, let's see them, man. Don't dawdle.
Terms coming on screen now, sir.
All right, fine. Let's jump right in here with our first term. Plastic. What have you got to say for yourself, Private?
Plastic is a term used to describe movement or change in the physical sciences. More commonly, it is the name applied to many different man-made materials exhibiting similar properties of molding, shaping, or forming. Plastic means changeable, as in plastic surgery. This ability to change is what makes plastic so useful in design and manufacturing. All plastics may be divided into one of two main groupings. A given type of plastic is either thermoform or thermoset plastic. Thermo, which is Greek for heat, is a common term. Find it in the words thermos or thermometer. Thermoset plastic uses heat to make it stay in a certain shape. Once that shape is set, it cannot be changed. It is set. Thermo-Form, on the other hand, uses heat to soften the plastic. Once soft, the plastic may be shaped or molded or changed in some way. When the plastic cools, it is no longer soft, and you have a plastic in a new and useful form. Thermoform plastic may be reheated and formed again and again. This is the concept behind recycling plastic.
Oh, very good, Private. Very good. So, that concludes our discussion for today. I hope that...
Sir?
What is it, Private?
The next term, sir.
Term? Oh, yes. The next term is plastic.
We just did that one, sir.
Oh, yes, of course. The next term is vacuum. Vacuum means to clean crumbs and little pieces of paper and such off the carpet and rugs around the house. It makes a lot of noise, but it is much easier than kneeling down and picking up each and every tiny piece with your fingers. I remember once when Mother asked me to...
Oh, sir.
Yes, Private, what is it now?
Sir, I believe the scientific description of vacuum may prove to be more in line with this discussion. May I, sir?
Oh, of course, Private, of course.
Vacuum is a state of zero pressure and absence of pressure, as in the vacuum of space. In space, there is no atmosphere, therefore, no atmospheric pressure. Vacuum. Here on Earth, you enjoy an air pressure of approximately 14 pounds per square inch at sea level. The higher you go, the less the pressure there is, until you hit space, where, as previously stated, there is an absence of pressure, or vacuum. A state of vacuum can be created artificially by using a simple device called a vacuum pump. Inside the pump, air is moved in only one direction. The pump is taking away air from a certain location. When all the air is gone, you have a vacuum. This is how vacuum chambers, such as a bell jar, work. Scientists can find lots of neat experiments to try in the absence of air and air pressure.
Well, that's all well and good, Private. But what in the great green galaxy does this have to do with vacuum forming?
In a minute, Colonel. Could you please give us the next term?
Certainly, Private. Plastic.
Sorry, sir.
Vacuum?
Suction! Precisely, sir. As you may well recall, we were pumping air with a vacuum pump. The pump was drawing air out by allowing the air to move only in one direction. The pump was forcibly sucking the air out by creating a tiny vacuum in the pump, allowing the air pressure to become less and less in the vacuum chamber. Try this little experiment right now. Take your hand and cover your mouth. Now suck in a great lungful of air. You are the vacuum pump, drawing air out of the little chamber you made with your hand. The pressure you feel is suction. The same pressure is what makes a vacuum cleaner work. The suction from the vacuum cleaner's vacuum pump is so strong it not only draws air, but dirt up into the bag. The air passes through very tiny holes in the bag, but the dirt is too big and remains trapped inside.
I've got it. Vacuum creates suction, and as the air rushes to fill the void, as you run out of air, a field of low air pressure results. And when that pressure goes down to zero, ta-da! Vacuum.
Right, Colonel.
Begging your pardon, Private, but what in the blue blazes does all this have to do with the main subject of
vacuum forming, sir?
Yes, quite. Vacuum forming. How does it do it? And why do we need it, Private?
With your permission, Colonel, I have prepared a small presentation on the computer to facilitate transmission of the finer points. May I?
By all means, Private, proceed.
Coming on screen now, Colonel.
Vacuum forming is a method of plastic fabrication involving 4 major mechanical or electrical components. First component, plastic sheet. Second component, heat source. Third component, mold. Fourth component, vacuum source. Criteria for specific components is as follows.
Stop! Private, how long does this go on?
Something wrong, sir?
Yes, it's very boring. Perhaps something more entertaining. A character. Yeah, that's it.
Change the computer voice?
Something, anything, man. Just do it.
All right, here goes.
Criteria for specific components is as follows. Plastic sheet must exhibit properties of Thermo-Form plastic. Soften when heated, stiffen when cool. Common types of plastic used with vacuum forming process include polystyrene, polyethylene, polypropylene, vinyl, ABS, butyrate, acrylic, and copolyester. High-impact polystyrene sheets appear to be indicated for demonstration purposes because of its rapid heating and cooling, combined with its relative low cost and excellent availability. End of Private?
Something a little easier to listen to. Begin criteria for heat source. Heat source must soften the plastic sheet without burning it. Heat source must provide uniform application of heat to the entire surface of the plastic sheet. Failure to do so may result in hot spots, thin spots, and uneven forming of the plastic. Softening of the plastic sheet is in direct proportion to the length of time plastic is exposed to heat source. Time required to soften plastic sheet is in direct proportion to the thickness of plastic sheet. Heat absorption may vary due to color of plastic sheet. Dark colors absorb heat faster. Light colors reflect heat, absorbing less heat initially. And criteria for heat source. Private, a different voice, please.
Yes, sir.
Begin criteria for vacuum-forming mold. There are 4 major design considerations to a vacuum-forming mold. Vacuum-forming mold must be constructed of a rigid, heat-impervious material, or mold may melt with the plastic or change form when subjected to vacuum pressure. Mold design must have no sharp vertical points, or plastic may be cut in its softened state. Mold design must avoid negative draft and undercuts, or mold will become trapped inside the formed shape. Where there is a valley or depression on the mold face, it may be necessary to incorporate very small holes from the mold surface to the back of the mold, allowing vacuum to draw the plastic down into the valley or depression. End criteria for vacuum-forming mold. Begin criteria vacuum source. Vacuum is measured in inches of mercury pulled. Suction must be of sufficient strength to draw softened plastic over mold completely. Important point. Suction is most effective when evenly distributed over the molding area, creating a vacuum surface or vacuum platen. Initiating demonstration. Vacuum forming. Plastic. Heat source. Mold. Vacuum.
Simply put, sir, the plastic is heated by the heat source until it becomes soft. The softened plastic sheet is then draped over the mold and the vacuum activated. The vacuum draws the softened plastic over the mold, capturing the shape. The plastic cools and the mold is removed.
Bravo, Private. This vacuum forming has a certain elegance in its simplicity, don't you think?
Certainly, sir. Sir, I'm receiving an emergency transmission from the General.
Well, put it on the screen at once, man. Hurry!
Colonel! Are you there? Can you hear me?
Private, stabilize this transmission at once.
Trying, sir.
We read you, General. What is your situation?
We hit an asteroid off the shoulder of Orion. Took out an entire bank of plastic bubble thingies. No injuries, but if we don't finish our repairs within 1 solar day, we'll lose our atmosphere to the vacuum of space. We need 78 plastic bubble plates to complete our repairs. How many do you have, Colonel?
Checking now, sir. Private, how many do we have?
1, sir. We have hundreds of flat plates, but only 1 bubble plate in stock, sir.
General, we have 1 bubble plate.
Well, I guess that's it then. The ship's atmosphere will be lost, and you can't breathe vacuum, you know. Farewell, my friends. Hoist a glass and remember me fondly. Why, I remember once when I was just a lad. Actually, it was a blustery winter day. My brother and I were having a snowball war. Must have made hundreds of snowballs and stacked them up ready for battle. Well, when he came over that hill, he got the surprise of his life. I'm telling you, oh.
General, wait. We have an idea here.
We do?
Yes, sir, Colonel. Those plastic bubble plates are made from Thermo-Form plastic. So are the flat plates. If we make a mold off one of the bubble plates we have, we can vacuum form flat plates into bubble plates. They could make their repairs with time to spare.
Oh, make it so, Private.
Sir?
Do it, Private. Do it.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
General, I have your problem in hand. You will have your bubble plates within half a solar day.
Excellent, Colonel. Splendid. There's a promotion in this for you, Colonel.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, yes. And you too, Private.
Well, thank you, sir.
Off to work with you now. Be seeing you soon. Ta!
Sir, I've just received word from our vacuum forming crew. Production of bubble plates has begun. All systems are operational.
Got to go now. Duty calls. Private, how does that vacuum forming work again?
Simply put, sir, the plastic is heated by the heat source until it becomes soft. The softened plastic sheet is then draped over the mold and the vacuum activated. The vacuum draws the softened plastic over the mold, capturing the shape. The plastic cools, and the mold is removed.
Capital, Private. Set a course for the constellation Orion.
Course laid in, sir.
Say, Private, which button is it that makes this ship, you know?
The go button, sir?
Yes, the go button.
I believe it's that red one, sir.
Ah, yes. So it is, Private, so it is. Well, here goes.
Yes,
Sir!